All right. Well, hi, everybody. I see some people are starting to join our Songwriting for Parents, How to Write a Lullaby pop-up. We would love to know a little bit about you, what you're hoping to get from this workshop. So like if you're hoping to write a song for your little one, or you're just interested in songwriting, you could put that, or whatever reason, if you're just here to listen and get inspiration, we'd love to have that. We'd love to know a little bit about you, anything you want to let us know of in the chat box there. So I don't know about how it's been for Amanda, and you're going to hear from both of us, but it's been quite an interesting journey during the pandemic, being a songwriter and a mother. And I'm sure there's others joining our conversation that feel the same way. And so I'm really excited to get some inspiration from you all today as well. And so we also want to encourage everyone, if you are hoping for that inspiration, if you want to get some water, get yourself comfortable. If you need a snack, go grab it. If you need some paper, pencils, pens. So awesome. We've got some more people joining us. This is great. So I see that we have Maya here from Salt Lake City, here to listen and be part of the community. Cool. Yeah, making up songs with our little ones, it's kind of natural, and sometimes we do it out of necessity, right? Like to get them to brush their teeth or whatever we're trying to do. We've also got Monica who responded. Granddaughters, 1-year-old and 1 week old. Wow, congratulations, Monica. Oh my goodness, yay, 1 week. Wow, that is just incredible. Cool, and you'd like to create a lullaby. Okay, so Amanda and we're gonna do our best to share some really concrete tips for how you can put a song together, because I'm sure we both have got some things that we can just mention that might help you out. Well, so I mentioned my friend Amanda West, and so Amanda is my dear friend and very amazing award-winning songwriter. I've known her for, I don't know, like 9 years or something, a long time, since we both lived in California. And I'd like to invite her to just say a couple words of introduction of herself. So Amanda, would you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hi. Sure. I just wanted to say again, Mindy, thanks so much for inviting me to do this, and to the Mindy Project for making this happen and accessible. I know. So yeah, I currently live in the Santa Cruz Mountains with my family. I have an 8-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and music is what I do. It's I teach music, that's my bread and butter, and then it's also just my heart's passion and how I connect with the world and what I give to the world and how I receive from the world. And my husband, partner, is also a musician, and so it's just a huge part of my life, and I love sharing it with other people. And it's been quite a journey since having 2 children, of figuring out how to combine parenthood, motherhood with musicianhood, and still on that journey. But there are many ways that these 2 paths fit together really beautifully, and other ways that they're very challenging together. So, but yeah, I'm grateful to be here and just excited to share today. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amanda. I am so grateful for your friendship and mentorship as both, a mother and a songwriter, because actually for me, motherhood was not something I planned on the first time it happened to me. And it was so nice that I had Amanda to sometimes talk, sense into me about the way things were going to be now as a mother, but also to help me understand how much joy I was going to feel as a mother as well. So Amanda, thank you so much. I feel like we just have this deep bond. And I remember one time you said to me, when I moved back here to Utah, I was like, we're not going to see each other anymore. And you were like, no, we will. We're going to be friends forever. We can't, we have that kind of bond. So I think that Amanda, since we have a nice small group, I think that you and I are going to be able to share perhaps a little bit longer, maybe more like 15 minutes each. And so I think that will be great. We can share more songs. So I want to recognize another comment here from Craig, who's my husband, guys. But he's my songwriting partner often for the songs, the little ditties we make up for our two kids, two little boys, Cyrus and Charlie. And he says, let's see. Yeah, he says, music is something I find challenging finding time for. Yes, it is so hard. And I wonder if there's others out there, Maya or Monica, who can relate to that feeling. And I'm sure Amanda can relate to that feeling. It's really hard to find time to music make. And so that's why maybe we end up writing songs about tractors, dragons, and pirates. I mean, that's what we do at my house, right? And dragons that brush their teeth and stuff. But more about that later. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and play a song for you that I wrote. So one thing that Amanda and I realized as we were preparing for this workshop is that we realized that, or I realized, but Amanda and I spoke about it. We realized that a lot of songs that we write are like lullabies for ourselves as mothers, right? And not just lullabies for our kids. And so I think that honoring ourselves as parents and mothers through lullabies for ourselves is also valid, because sometimes when one of my boys sees me connecting with my artistic self, I think that it really, they connect with my music on a deep level because they see me connecting with it. So I'm going to play for you a song of mine that I wrote for my son Cyrus, and it's called Little Supernova. And so it's as I really came to terms with being a parent, it has been my lullaby to myself. Here's Little Supernova. You were the size of a poppy seed when I found you inside me. And when you started, you were just a single cell. You changed my universe forever. I saw a film, showed a flash of light at conception. Were you a piece of star that became a human soul? All I really know is you weren't planned at all. And without a doubt, your presence makes me whole. You burst into the room, my son, when you were born. Were you a supernova, disguised in infant form? I didn't sleep that night as you arranged the stars. I cradled my tiny child and nursed my expanding heart. I ached for the freedom I was losing and yearned for the mother I'd become. And now my heart is grown and it cannot be contained. All the stars and the planets, they're finding their place. It's very complicated and simple too. My new constellation led to you. I ached for the freedom I was losing and yearned for the mother I'd become. didn't sleep that night. As you arranged the stars, I cradled my tiny child and nursed my expanding heart. Oh, thank you. Thanks. So yeah, Little Supernova. So I was thinking about that song this morning, and I was thinking about how when Amanda and I did our Instagram Live a few nights ago to kind of just prepare for this and hopefully bring a couple more people into our webinar today, I was talking with Amanda and saying that Cyrus really doesn't like that song, and he's like, not that one, mommy, don't play that one. But then the other night when I was singing my little excerpt of it on Instagram Live, Craig then told me later, because he was in this room right here, this is his room, and Craig told me that he was like singing along and like talking about the poppy seed, you know, this at the beginning of the song, and I was like, wow. And so that's what makes me feel like my theory that when I'm connecting with myself, my child and my son will connect with that too. And there have been many nights where, like, as he's almost asleep, I sing that song because it's special to me, right, and my journey as a mother. And so when he's almost asleep, you know, he doesn't protest hearing it then. But it's really interesting being a parent and trying to have the two kids and trying to continue to be a songwriter during the pandemic. I mean, it's so hard, right, Amanda? Like, it's almost impossible. But you know, we do the best that we can. And yeah, and as we were saying earlier, in my house there's been a lot of dragon songs, a lot of you know, like songs about roaring and songs about pirates. And so okay, so here's some advice for mothers out there that would like to write songs for their own kids. So Amanda and I were talking about our processes on our Instagram Live. And so I told her that my process used to be more like orderly. I'm actually going to see, I want to see you all. There we go. It used to be more orderly, and I would work on it daily and like try to write a page or two and try to write kind of like in prose or just like stories, vignettes of things that have happened to me or some rhyming lines that would come to me. But now I feel like it sort of comes more in fits and starts, and it comes in just little jots down on my memos on my phone, like while I've got the baby in one hand, so I have a 7-month-old baby as well, or I speak it into my voice memos, and that just has to be good enough. But I feel like that's okay, and it's okay to take all the pressure off as a parent and just let, you know, the things that really bubble to the surface be what you get down on paper, and start with that. And I think that some of these things we're writing, like I'll sing a couple of them for you. So we wrote this song, Dragon Brothers, with my 2 little boys. It's not a lullaby, it's like a jaunty, bouncing song. But it's about brushing his teeth, because, as you know, he just turned 3, and toothbrushing is, you know, sometimes a struggle. But we made this song with a lot of help from, you know, Craig and from Cyrus. And the chorus goes, dragon brothers, they're friendly and polite. Those dragon brothers, their breath is a delight. They brush their teeth in the morning and at night. And then Cyrus will often chime in night. So I'll be singing it, and then he goes night, and that's how I know that he's listening, and he's really, you know, he's really in the music with me, and he remembers that those dragon brothers, they brush their teeth because it's good. We don't want stinky teeth from our dragon brothers. But as far as other tools that you can use, yeah. So first of all, my first big number one idea for you is to just get away from the idea that it needs to be polished or even rhyming or anything right away. And it's more about just writing it down when you can, however you can. And it can really be anything, and it's all about kind of the attention you put on it rather than what it exactly is. So, you know, you can make up a song about a sippy cup or about bedtime or about a story. We have lots of material with little kids. So let's see. I think I want to share another song with you all. That is a song I actually wrote when I was pregnant with my first son, Cyrus. Speaking of songs that you can write about anything, I actually wrote this about the stretch marks that I saw appear on my belly as like a pregnant woman who had never been pregnant before. And this is something that I sang a lot to my older child, Cyrus, as well. So it's called Electric Storm, and I'm going to sing it for you now. Oh, electric storm on my belly, little baby, little being, are you coming out soon to meet the world? Oh, electric storm on my belly, little baby, little being, are you coming out soon to meet the world? I know you didn't mean to set the universe spinning around. Oh, electric storm on my belly, little baby, little being, are you coming out soon to meet the world? Electric storms, thank you. Okay. Well, thanks for putting my tip in there. That's nice, Ruby. So yeah, tip 1, doesn't need to be polished. Get your thoughts down when and however you can. It's about the attention you put on it rather than exactly what it is. Yeah, vignettes, thoughts, daily objects, teeth brushing, you know, I don't know, now Craig and I are into like the ins and outs of potty training, and he's potty trained, but now we got to make sure we do the hand washing and the, you know, the things that go along with using the potty, like, you know, wiping your behind. We got to get him to do that. So I don't know if we're going to make a song about that, but we could. Anything. It can be anything, right? It's like the sky's the limit. And I think that becoming a parent has really helped me just remove the filter of what my songs have to be. Because before, when I was just a songwriter and I wasn't a mother yet, I really thought that songs needed to be these sacred things that were really perfect or something. But now I'm just like, no, it's okay if we write a song like another one we wrote lately. I'll get out my ukulele and play you one more since we have the gift of time here today. This is called Put Your Roar in the Drawer. And I know these don't seem very lullaby-esque, but you know, as you know, if you've got kids, maybe Maya can attest to it, or maybe Monica can too, or Amanda, you've told me that you sing about tractors, that it's sometimes the lullabies are like, it's not about like always like stars and like hearts or flowers. It's like about roars, you know. So here's for Put Your Roar in the Drawer. Again, about the dragon. Put your roar in the door. Sorry, it's about dinosaurs and dragons because they're kind of the same thing, right? Put your roar in the drawer, little dinosaur. Put your roar in the drawer, little dinosaur. Put your roar in the drawer, little dinosaur. Until it's time to take it out. Put your roar in the drawer, little dragon. Put your roar in the drawer, little dragon. Put your roar in the drawer, little dragon. Until the morning light comes out. So you can probably tell that in my son's room, there's this little nightstand and there's a little drawer on the bottom of it. And sometimes if he's really being rambunctious, we can put the roars in the drawer and then sing the song, and then he settles down a little bit. Because sometimes, as I'm sure many of you know, including my colleague Ruby, who I know has a young niece, sometimes it's all about getting all the energy out, and then you can transition into your next activity, right? It's about like getting that energy out. So yeah, I want to read some of these these chats here. And then, oh yes, excavators and trucks. Well, Maya, you should write it for sure. I mean, you probably already have. I want to hear everybody else's songs here too. Um, yeah, cool. All right. Well, I want to say a big thanks to Monica, Linda, Maya, to Craig for joining us today and letting me share some of my lullabies with you and songs. I really appreciate the chance to share with you all on Zoom, and I hope that you can, take this as inspiration to just let yourself feel free to create. So Amanda and we are going to be available to you guys via email or Facebook if you find us there, if you want some further tips, because some other things that I was thinking. So haikus, you guys know what a haiku is? It's like the 5-7-5 form. So 5 syllables on the first line, 7 on the second, and 5 on the third. And so I feel like something like that can be a really good way to get an idea started, is if you use the form of, say, a haiku. Like for example, Maya wanting to write a haiku about a garbage truck. We could say, look, garbage trucks, look, look, a garbage truck. See, that's our first one. That's 5. Look, a garbage truck, right? And then the second one could be, somebody help me make this up. I'm trying to make it up on the fly here. So seven syllables for the second one would be, maybe it's the sound, maybe vroom, 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 and there it goes, or something like that. That's just a quick vroom, 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 and there it goes. Picking up the garbage, that's 5, right? So that's a haiku. So that would be, what was my first line? Oh no, I should have written it down. Look, a garbage truck, vroom, 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 there it goes. And then the last one is picking up the garbage. Is that 5 at the end? Yes. So you could start with something like that, and then you could put a melody under that, or start expanding from there, because that gives you a nice little nugget. Oh, better get your can on the curb. Is that 7? Better get your can to the curb. Nice. 1, 2. Oh, see, you guys are just going now. So I hope everyone's with your pencil and paper starting to make your own haiku. It's close though, Craig. Yeah. So yeah, I think that might be a really helpful way for you to get started with a topic. And then with these songs, lullabies or songs that you're going to sing with your kids, like as a transition activity, keeping them simple and repetitive is a good way to go in my book, because they're going to remember it better. And so also don't feel like it has to be a whole lot of something, like has to have a lot of verses. Really, most songs such as these can just have one verse. And yeah, bringing out the finger counting. Yes, simple and repetitive is the way to go. All right, well, I want to say thank you once again, and I want to pass the baton over to my dear friend Amanda so we can hear from her. Amanda?
Okay. Hi. Oh, Mindy, thank you so much. Wow, you guys have got some brilliant songwriting going on at your house there. So fun. And let's see. Oh, I'm unmuted. Okay, I got it. Yeah, and Mindy, I just second everything that you just shared. I think those are all such good points, and I was having all these thoughts while you were talking. Just trying to think. I was thinking maybe sort of at the end, Mindy, you and I could just have a little bit of a conversation too, if we don't have a whole lot of questions here. But because I think I'm kind of a songwriting geek and just love to talk about songwriting and creativity and musicianhood and motherhood and all these things. I could talk about them all day long. Let's see, I was trying to figure out, okay, what can I add to this? I absolutely agree, just that idea of keeping things simple, that you can write about anything. And I think just in my work with people, what I find I think there's kind of two big blocks that often people come up against. And one, is in the actual songwriting, kind of what you were sharing, Mindy, of people have this idea of, oh, it has to be this certain way and it has to be perfect. And I love what you were talking about of just like, no, just, it can be whatever. It can be about the garbage truck or the tractor or the brushing the teeth. And I think the other piece, because often, when we're talking about songwriting, we're usually talking about singing. That's sort of the context here, right? The singing and the songwriting. And a lot of people have a lot of blocks around singing. We live in a society that really has this idea of there are the musicians over there and then there's everyone else over here and they're the people who can sing and do stuff and the rest of us can't. And my background is in cultural anthropology, and I have just, like, if you look at most other cultures and societies around the world throughout most of time, singing has been a thing that just everybody does. Everybody does it all the time. It's part of life. It's woven into all the daily activities. And that kind of connects into what you were saying, Mindy, about that idea of using, we can use music for these transition times for children. And it's such a great parenting tool. Because, if you say, come on, everybody, time for dinner, they're like, whatever, Mom, not listening to you. But if you say, come on, everybody, time for dinner, come on, everybody, time for dinner, they're like, whoa, what? Oh, okay. It makes a difference. And again, it's that idea, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. But so that piece of how do we get past that block of thinking I can't sing? And I guess there's so many things to say around that. One of my favorite quotes is this idea, maybe you've heard it before, if you can walk, you can dance, if you can talk, you can sing. And again, just going back to this idea that singing, I really believe it's part of our human birthright. Like, everyone can sing. If you can talk, you can sing. We have a voice, and it's what it's for. And yeah, what else do I want to say about that? And I think especially as a mother, but a parent, anyone around children, your voice is so important. And I have another kind of big project, a thing that I do that I've been running for many years now, is a project called Womb Song. And we lead singing circles with pregnant women. And it's kind of introducing the idea of song as a tool for helping you through pregnancy and birth and then postpartum and into motherhood. And I've done a whole lot of research around all of that and published an article about that, and I just feel really passionate about it. It's incredible, just all the kind of support for that idea of the importance of the voice. And it's the first sound that in the womb that babies, the first sense that develops is sound. And so already when they're in the mother's womb, they're already connecting to her through her voice. And the sound, travels through the bones and through the amniotic fluid. And when babies come out, the link to my article. Yeah. I will share that. Yeah. So when babies come out, they already know their mother's voice, and also if there's anyone who, like, the father's voice, if he's been around, and they remember this. So it's so important, and that the parent's voice, like, whatever it is, the babies, especially, and the little ones, they don't care. They don't have these preconceived notions of, like, that's a good voice, that's a bad voice. Like, if it's their parent's voice, that's the good voice. That's their favorite one. It's that thread of connection back to, like, being in the womb and being safe. And, so that's, I think, a really important thing to remember, in particular as a parent, is just your child's favorite voice is your voice, and however it comes out is going to be beautiful and be their favorite thing. So I wanted to say that. What else do I want to say? I guess I could sing some songs. I don't know. I was gonna add kind of to the silly song list. I mean, I have serious songs as well, and yeah, Mindy and I, we were talking about that piece of sometimes the lullabies that we write they're for us as much as for the babies or the little ones. And those are important because, as we're parenting and taking care of these children, we're holding them. We're their world. We are, holding the space for them. And so taking care of them really has to start with taking care of ourselves. And Maya had mentioned, and Craig mentioned too, just this challenge, like how do you find the time to take care of yourself and write the songs and connect to the music? I don't quite have the answer to that, except that just acknowledging it's a challenging juggle, we do the best we can. So, I did make a little song list here, although I didn't practice any of them because that's my life. Let's see. Okay, here's a silly one. They want it. So my older son, he's really into cars and drifting. I don't know if you guys even know about drifting cars. It's basically like skidding on purpose when they're like around corners. I don't really get it, but it seems it's this amazing thing for him. So here's a lullaby, the drifting lullaby. Drifting around the track, zoom. Drifting around in circles, drifting off to dreamland under the moon. Oh, under the moon. So that's the whole thing. And my youngest one, he loves to do the zoom part. That's his favorite part. So here you go. Drifting around the track, zoom. Drifting around in circles, drifting off to dreamland under the moon. Oh, under the moon. Yeah, and so we can just sing that a lot over and over. And that's the idea, those lullabies again, just keeping it so simple. I think actually that, that's been a big shift in my songwriting and my journey. I still love to write songs with long, complicated lyrics because I love words and I have a lot of thoughts and I like to get them all in there. But I have learned also the value of just having these really, really simple songs that it can just be one or two phrases. And especially a lot of the songs that we sing in Womb Song and share there they're more like mantras, just a line or two that's just a good thing to kind of feed you. Let's see, I'll share another one that's kind of, it's a slightly longer one actually. It's not the most simple one, but this was another one that came to me just while I was putting my little ones to bed. Sometimes I love to just sing. It's so funny, and Mindy, we were talking about this on our Instagram live video of I love singing, and my children don't always love for me to sing. It's been way too many times where I'm singing and they're like, "Don't sing, Mama. It's not what we want." It's kind of breaks my heart a little bit, and I'm like, and I'll say to them, your mom is a singer, right? That's like what I do. But sometimes that's just not where they are, and it's okay. But the times that they do let me sing, I think end up being all the more sweet. So sometimes I'll kind of get them in there, these little whispers, when they're like really drifting off to sleep and are too tired to complain. So here's one that came to me. Let's see. And of course, I do these all begin a cappella, right? Because I'm not like I always lie down with my kids in bed to get them to go to sleep, and I don't lie down with my guitar. So the guitar part comes afterwards. But okay, here we go. When the road is dark and you cannot see, hold your heart and think of me, and I'll be there to guide your way, reminding you you're always safe. When the road is dark and you cannot see, hold your heart and think of me, and I'll be there to guide your way, reminding you you're always safe. You're always safe. You'll find your way. You're always safe. You'll find your way. And I'm just realizing, I think does this go till 11:45? So I think I want to stop and open it up here to if there's any other questions. I haven't read all the chats here. Yeah, thanks, Craig. Taking drifting and making it relaxing. I thought that was pretty clever too, the way that worked out. I was like, aha, I can take your crazy wild boy thing and turn it into a little lullaby. And then we're both happy, so it's all good. So anyways, yeah, I would just love to hear, I don't know if anyone has any other questions, or Mindy, if there's any other thoughts you've had. Yeah. How would I describe what makes a song a lullaby versus a regular song? That is such a great question. I think it's really about the energy behind it. And of course, in general, I mean, lullabies, they move more slowly, and they're kind of quiet. They're ones that can be sung very quiet, and often they don't have a huge dynamic range. You know, they don't get really loud and big and then really small and change a lot. So they're very kind of slow and steady with a gentle energy behind them. And I think because they're ones that you want to be able to just almost like whisper in their ear. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if you have any other thoughts to that, Mindy.
Yeah, well, I think traditionally they are used to, calm a child, soothe a child. That's what we think of them as being, right? But as we've been discussing, sometimes that it can be counterintuitive what will actually calm or soothe the child. But yeah, if we're talking about like traditionally what we think of, slower, steady, yeah, not a lot of dynamic variance. I think that's a really good way to describe it, Amanda.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah, can I say one more thought about the lullaby?
Sure. Oh, go for it.
Just the importance of, I mean, this is kind of part of the magic of singing, is that it regulates our breathing. And especially, so that's a thing, that we talk about and look at a lot in pregnancy, because the mama and the baby are all, they're sharing one body and one breath and one bloodstream. And so as we sing, the magic about singing is you take in a big exhale, right? And then you slowly let it out, which moves us into our, what is the word? Anyways, your relaxed nervous system, the rest and digest state, as opposed to the fight or flight state that we often spend most of our days in. So that exhale just automatically relaxes our nervous system and brings us into that more relaxed state. And that is, when you're singing lullabies, the child, especially young children, there is kind of a resonance that happens between the mother and the baby, or the small child, or whoever the caregiver is. There's this connection that happens there, and as the caregiver is singing this song, it will slow down their breath, slow down their heartbeat, and then the child in turn just picks that up as well. So that's part of, yeah, what lullabies are about.
Yeah, because kids definitely are sponges and they pick up our emotions, right? As well as like our mannerisms and songs we might sing for them. They pick those up too. Thank you so much, Amanda. And thank you, Monica, for the great question. And I see that Linda commented here that she's going to help her students write a lullaby. That sounds great, Linda. Cool. Yeah. Anybody can write a lullaby, right? It can be a lullaby for yourself. You don't have to have kids of your own or living with you right now. And it's all of us right now in this pandemic time can use a little bit of that coming down out of fight or flight, right? Like we're all, or at least I know I've been there some of the time. And so thank you for that reminder. And I love your song too about the cars, Amanda, and I'm gonna work on making some more songs out of some of Sai's really fast things that he's got going on. I think that's brilliant. And so we're gonna go ahead and start to wrap up because it is 12:45 and we don't want to keep anybody. So kind of in conclusion, thank you all so much for being here and sharing some thoughts with us in the chat or just listening. We are so grateful that you took time to come and be part of the Mindy Project and be part of Amanda West's art practice as a mother and my art practice and life as a mother. Yeah, if you have any feedback, please feel free to connect with us. You can find the Mindy Project's website at mindyproject.org, or Amanda, what's your website?
Yeah, it's amandawest.com.
amandawest.com, and I'm mindydillard.com. Again, thank you all so much. Amanda, do you have anything else to say in closing?
No, just thank you. Yeah, thank you for
thank you very much
out of your day, and yeah, look forward to sharing more and continuing this conversation. And yeah, just wishing you all the best with your creativity, and yeah, just go do it. You can do it.
Yeah,
you can do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monica.
Yes.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.